Hi everyone, I wanted to do something a little bit different today and do a sort of little beginner's guide to starting with bow making. So this is all the bits and pieces that I've got on my desk, and then I thought once I have done that I will show you a little of the bits and pieces that I've got to make myself today, because I have a couple of bows that I need to make. I need to make a couple of tux bows and a fabric tux bow as well. So I thought while I'm doing that I will show you all what I'm up to. So like I'm going to adjust my channel and adjust my settings in a minute so you can all see what I'm up to, and we'll see what's happening. So let's see if I can turn it. If I turn it, there we go. Let me just put my in my normal setting. So as you can see, I've got my bits and pieces on my desk ready to go. I believe I can answer questions, but I don't know if I'll be able to see them, so let's see. Aha, I can see them. Yes, I have now got it on my other screen so I can see what's happening in real time. Excuse any background noise, I've got the windows open because it's a bit warm today. I'll just try and sit down nicely again. So, there we go. That way I can see the comments that are coming in potentially. Can't see how many of you are actually watching at the moment though, so no, we'll see later. While I am waiting for my pumpkin Halloween shaker video to upload, basically, I thought, like I said, I'd start being a bit more sociable and do this come make with you all. Yeah, that's just me sorting out of the way. And see what my glue gun's been doing. My glue gun does little whips while it's warming up. Glue gun poo. I have a weird sense of humour at times. So anyway, this is the very, very bare minimum that you would need in order to start making ribbon bows. So I'll explain everything that's on my desk and then we will get into the bits and pieces of actually bow making. So these are fabric scissors, and the reason that these are important, these are my standard, get a step here. This is a basic pair of scissors, and these are my fabric scissors. And the reason you want fabric scissors and not standard basic everyday scissors is if you try and cut with these, the edges on that is absolutely terrible, whereas if you have set fabric scissors, they cut straight through and you get much cleaner cuts that are a lot easier to seal, which is why I always have fabric scissors. Mine are from Hobbycraft, so there we go. It's just out of my scrap box. Obviously, one of the key things when you're starting to make a ribbon bow is you do need to run ribbon. So I've got some 3-inch, 2-inch, 1.5-inch and 1-inch ribbon over here. And the one thing that a lot of people forget when they're first starting is you also need some corresponding 9mm ribbon for wrapping your centres. And I've also got some black that's on roll because that's one of my more popular colours. I have extra strength Gutermann polyester thread, and I buy these in 110 yard reels, and there is a link in the description. I'll put a link in for that below, and I have my thread doubled, that's already there. And I always use long sharp darning needles. They're about 7 centimeters rather than standard needles. If you're into making boutique bows, these metal salon clips come in really handy. I have these kind of hair clips, but I use these double pronged ones. They're as like extra pairs of hands rather than for attaching bows. Tape measure, vitally important. I do also use ruler when I can't bother to get my tape measures out because I drop them everywhere. Thread unpicker for making ribbon with thread rather than gluing. dressmaking pins for holding your ribbon in place, lighters for heat sealing your ribbon, and I always use the clear blue part of the flame when I'm making. Can't see any comments. And for attaching your bows, I have the super soft nylons, so you can use those if you choose to. And I believe mine are from Nylon UK and Love Your Crafts Ltd and a few other places like that. I like these super soft versions. You can get the slightly thicker ridged ones, but they don't have as much stretch, and these are the kind of ones that tend to sort of mark children's heads, so I don't use those thicker ones very often. Some seamless hair bubbles. So I have these ones in multiple of colours. Alligator clips. I get these from Caraway Cottage. They sell packs of 100. They are super strong. I've got some 60mm ones here. The standard size that most people tend to start when they start out is the 45s, which is the slightly smaller ones. And the other thing that I do, which not everyone does, and this is an investment, and again, on my channel I have lots and lots of tutorials using the templates. This is a set of the bow making templates from my friend, and I have 53 tutorials using these templates. Like I said, if you are, I'm dyslexic and have dyscalculia, so I am terrible sometimes with my depth perception and getting my stitches straight. So if you are like this as too, template making can absolutely save your life, because these stitch guides just take out all the thought and like stress of trying to work that out yourself. So like I said, they're a great investment, and this set is £10 for the 3. You get the small, medium and large, which is 3 inches, 4 inches and 5.5, but they also double up the other way. So you can do 7 inches, 6 inches and 5 inches as well. So like I said, you get 6 sizes for the price of 3. So I have those as well. But today I need to make some very simple tux bows. I need to do, excuse me, I need to make navy, red, this purple, can you see me? Can someone tell me if I'm sideways? Is that better? Am I sideways? Is that better? Turn once more anti-clockwise. Yes, no. Am I the right way up yet? No, I think I'm the wrong way round now. Yeah, I can't tell my left from the right. Right. We got it now? Is that better? Could you actually see everything that was... Yeah, I genuinely can't tell my left from my right. That's part of my dyspraxia. I've actually gotten lost in places in my hometown because I couldn't actually... there's this massive park where I live. It's called Woollerton Hall. And I visit there. I've been going there since I was about 2 years old. And honestly, with my dyspraxia, because all of the park looks exactly the same, and I do mean it like this, unless lake. Like most of the other areas look exactly the same. And once, like I said, bear in mind it's my hometown, and like I said, I've been visiting since I was a baby with my parents. I got lost in Wollerton Hall for 4.5 hours with one of my friends because I couldn't work out how to get to the entrance, and my other friend wasn't from Nottingham and couldn't find the entrance either. We ended up getting out Google Maps, and we ended up on the Wollerton Hall golf course asking the gentlemen that were playing golf to show us where the entrance was to get out of Wollerton Park. And like I said, that was hilarious. My housemate Tatiana was not impressed with me that day because we'd run out of water by that, and it was very hot, and we both got very sunburnt. So yeah, that's how bad my left and right ability is. Is that better? Can you actually see everything now? So I'll show you everything off again, and hopefully everyone will be able to see it again now. So, as I said before, my nice fabric scissors from Hobbycraft in the UK. Like I said, I love these ones. They have lasted me a good couple of years. I do need to sharpen these ones a little bit because they are getting a tiny bit blunt. Excuse me, all the mess on my desk at the moment. So the 7cm sharp darning needle, I already have mine double threaded, and I use extra strong Gutermann's polyester thread, and I get them in 100 meters, 110 yard reels. And again, I tend to buy them when Hobbycraft has them on offer. They normally do buy two get one free when they're about £4.25 each. Dress pins, like I said, these are a lifesaver for like holding your ribbon in place when you're making certain bows. I use them all the time. Thread unpicker if you do hand stitching. Like I said, again, these are a little your tape measure. Like I said, I do use my ruler because what I tend to do is I throw them around my neck and then I move around so much it ends up on the floor, and then I roll them under my wheels. So I do tend to sometimes use a ruler instead of my tape measure, but obviously most people aren't me. Me metal salon clips if you like to make lots of boutique bows. These are a godsend. Obviously I showed my little pronged handy clips that I tend to use, like I said, as extra pairs of hands when I'm making. You want lighters? I tend to buy these in batches of 50 because I should refill them, but I am terrible and I never do. So I buy these like 50 for about £8, £9, and I always use the clear blue bit of the flame to heat seal my ribbon. When I'm talking about heat sealing ribbon, I'm just going to my scrap box. So you've got all these frays. So we would cut that bit off with our fabric scissors, and then to heat seal, we take our lighter in the blue bit, and we heat seal that edge so that this doesn't happen when we're making our bows. What else did I show you? Oh yeah, my nylon headbands. Alligator clips to attach. Seamless bobbles. Or nylons. There we go. Like I said, I like these nice soft ones. These are from Nylon UK. But like I said, I like these one or Crafty Duck. They do really nice soft ones that are perfect for babies as well. And I buy all of my clips from Caraway Cottage. They are excellent quality. I've never had any issues. They've got nice strong teeth. They don't bend or anything like that. So like I said, I always like those ones. And like I said, I like these seamless bubbles where you've got just like the little, and like I said, nice and strong. So there's those. And then, as I was saying before, 3-inch ribbon, 2-inch ribbon, 1.5-inch ribbon, and 1-inch ribbon. Okay. Oh, is Siobhan talking about her templates? Has she done a pre-order for you all so that some of you have actually got the templates? Because I know some of you were asking and she was slightly out of stock. And I'll just repeat again. These are SIOBHAN's templates, as I've just mentioned before with my dyspraxia, like I said, because I am terrible with my left and my right and judging depth perception, or if you have any issues like that yourself, if you struggle with getting your bows perfectly balanced, invest in the £10 in these templates or buying them from the Hairbow Centre for the US ladies. It is a really good investment, and I have over 53 videos and I have lots more planned using these templates. And SIOBHAN also has her own group and she has got tons of tutorials and visual albums showing you how to use these as well. And you get the 3 different sizes. There's the large, medium and small, which is 3 inches, 4 inches, 5.5, and you can also use them this way and you get 7 inches, 6 inches and 5 inches, and like I said, these are ones that I use on a daily basis. When I am only using them this way, I do tend to put sellotape down this side. It just helps me slide them off the template a little bit easier without catching anywhere. And I'm making tool as well, so I've actually sellotaped on both sides because again, tool's slightly more likely to catch on these. So like I said, I've put a little bit of sellotape down the edge. And I have got my 9mm matching, and I also buy some of my more common colours like black, white and pink on these rolls. These cost about £4 from, as you can see, Love You Crafts Ltd. So there's some of those. And the bows that I've got to make today is I've got to make a fabric pinch bow in this pretty pink and white polka dot fabric. I've got to make 2 schoolboy pigtails in this, it's like purpley greeny grey gingham. And then I've got to make some double tux bows in the red and the navy. So that's what I've got to work on today. So I thought, as I'm making, and I need to stay motivated because I am terrible at staying motivated at the minute, I thought I'd let you watch me as I am making a lot long. This is also my little wooden cutting board. I got this from the range in the UK, and it was a set of 2, and I use these for my photographs, which I really love because, like I said, it's got a nice matte finish, and if I want to I can leave the love hearts in as well. And as you can see, I've got my rollers out, I've got my metal one. This is what I use when I use my wood burning tool. But in my cat-like way, I have somehow managed my 3-year guarantee wood burning tool. I have done something to it and it no longer heats up. I genuinely do not know what I do to these things on a regular basis. It drives me mad. I'm just not meant to be around electrical things. I think that's why I actually prefer templates and threads and needles and things like that. So if I'm not answering comments straight away, it's because I can't see all the messages as I am making. Yeah, I might make a cheerleading one as well. Yeah, like I said, I'm absolutely terrible. Like I said, I actually don't know what I do with myself half the time. So like I said, I thought to myself, I'll have a chat to you while I'm making. Like I said, if I'm not replying, like I said, don't worry, I'm just making along. The other thing is I have to stand up to answer. I've also got my Diet Coke. Like I said, I have a mild addiction. If it's not Diet Coke, it's Pepsi Max. So what I'm going to make first is the 2-inch tux bows that I need to make for my friend Ashley, because this is to match her daughter's school uniform. And she is one of the first people that I ever made bows for, and she's been with me since I very first started making ribbon bows for my sister, which is almost 4 years ago now. So when I make single tux bows, I tend to do sort of 8 inches on 2 inch. So I'm just going to do 2. Yeah, this is how I cut when I'm making 2 at a time. Re-roll my ribbon, otherwise it gets in a mess. And I'll show you my 9mm box in a minute. You'll be horrified. How does the 9mm box looks like? my 9mm box of ribbon looks like. There is no organisation to this whatsoever. I just tend to find the end of the ribbon, so find this end and just cut off the piece that I need in the correct colour. But yeah, I tried to keep, and there's one of my tape measures. I told you I misplaced them absolutely everywhere, so that is actually what my 9mm looks like. The rest of my ribbon, my 2-inch is probably my most organised at the minute. This is my 2-inch ribbon. As you can see, that's much more organised. I've got everything all nicely rolled and wrapped with my elastic bands. I've got a few little bits and pieces. There's some ribbon from CHEVERELLA. And then bits of rubbish in there. But yeah, I tend to have, most things are nicely rolled. Occasionally the elastic bands break, but like I said, most of it's nice and tidy like this. That way I can easily find most of it. So yeah, that's what most of my ribbon looks like, and these are quite deep. This is, let me tell you, 10 inches deep by 10 inches wide, and that's almost completely full. There is probably about 300, 400 yards of ribbon in there, in patterns and plains and all of those ones. And I've got, these are my smaller boxes. So I've got a 3-inch version of that, the 2-inch, and I've got a 1-inch, and nearly all of them are full to the top with those ribbon rolls in the patterns and the plains. So that's how I keep them organised. I've got 3 of those, and then I've got the bigger one for my 9mm and 1.5 because I've got more of those, because they're the 2 that I tend to use more often than anything else. So let's see. Yeah, it does drive some people nuts, but like I said, that's how I work. Like I said, it's the only one. I keep meaning to get one of those like little baskets and start pulling them all through and winding them all up. But because of how messy it is now, if I actually started to try and organise it, it would just, the effort that I would need to put in is absolutely insane. So I'm just going to heat seal my ends. I don't think you caught it either. This is my favourite glue gun, but this is what it does. You know, while it's warming up to stop the glue gun getting clogged, it does these little glue gun drops. I find it hilarious. But like I said, I have a twisted sense of humour, so I'm going to fold these in half and heat crease these. Both of these. And then the other thing I do is I take both of them and, like I said, about 1/2 centimetre, and this is just something I do, both the same both these sides. So fold both of those down, same amount. There we go. And I use this when I crease them over the centre. I'm just going to heat crease those lightly. And then we do the same to this one. And this is purely because, like I said, if I don't do this when I don't use templates, that's when my bows go slightly out of alignment, and like I said, they start getting a little bit skewed with where one side is slightly off. Typically on mine, if I don't do this, mine goes slightly off to the left for some reason. And I genuinely didn't notice that until my sister told me. So it's always worth checking. It's like I've got that little 1/2 centimetre on these. And then what I do, let me just recrease that because it's a little bit faint. Okay, so where that heat crease is in the centre, Line that up with that crease. And pin that there, so that's the centre. And then bring that over that way, over the crease again. Repin there. I'd pin this way, so all the creases do this, and you've got less than a centimetre overlap either side. I'll show you with my ruler. So if you do this, the overlap either side of the centre of the ribbon is less than 9mm, so it's hidden when we wrap our centres. And then if you fold it in half, you've got your edges all lined up and your bow will be balanced. And I do the same this, and when I'm making lots, I tend to do this process on all my bows at once and then sew them all at the end and then add all my centres. Or if I'm anything like I'm normally am, I plan to add all my centres and then I'll leave them in a basket and do them all like a week and a half later. I'm terrible for middles. It's my least favourite part of bow making for some reason. If I do tutorials, I tend to put them on straight away. But like I said, if I'm making, like I said, or mass producing, like I said, I tend to do things in stages. So there we go. All lined up. So those two, as you can see, they are both the exact same size as well. And on my 2-inch ones, I tend to do 6 stitches to get 3 creases, because I think that looks nicest on these bows. Just got my thread, and always from above at the beginning of that crease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 through the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 on the back. Pull that together and get your nice 3 creases, and then wrap that round. 1, 2, 3, stitch that off in the back. Drop your bow, check your alignment, make sure it's balanced, adjust that if you need to. And there you go, nice cute little 2-inch tux bow. And then I can cut that extra thread off, use that for my next one. Actually might do a longer one. I have a scrap box for my thread as well as all my ribbon. It's underneath my desk. I have my bin on one side and my scrap box on the other, so I can just throw things under there out of the way so they don't drive me mad when I'm making. Because I like a certain level of chaos, but I don't like lots of mess on my desk at the same time. I'm too easily distracted by shiny things, so if there's lots of things for me to see visually on my desk, then I get distracted. But the other thing is I have to have everything close enough to me so I can physically reach it, otherwise I completely forget that it's there and what I'm doing. So like, 'cause I have to have this fine balance between those two mediums. So there we go, just do the next one. And I try to keep my stitches as even as I possibly can as well. So there's a 6 on that one. Hi to anyone if anyone's joined. I will scroll through in a couple of minutes once I've added the middles to these and answer any questions that anyone might have. And if there's any topics that anyone wants me to cover, I'm going to try and start doing a live either every possibly Monday, because that's when my housemate's out on game night, so I won't be distracting him when he's home, or Thursday or Friday. So let me know in the comments which day would be best for everyone, because obviously with everything that's going off in the world, and I know not everyone might be out on a Friday night, but some of you might be more sociable than myself, so you never know. There is some perks to being single without pets or a boyfriend. I get a lot of time to craft. So there we go. Like I said, I always make sure that I've got my centres where I want them before I add my middles. So those two, and she wants bobbles for these ones for a little girl for pigtails. So I've got two, and I'm going to use black for these because I can't find anything that sort of matches that purple otherwise. And I'm terrible at doubting myself, because I know my dyspraxia, like I said, I do sometimes overcorrect my work. So like I said, I have to do this, fold them back in half and make sure it is actually centred. So you can see they're both the same, and that's how all of my pinch bows look. They all tend to be very uniform. So I'm going to heat seal the 9mm. Let's put a drop of glue just there, and I always join mine where that little line is on the bubble. Move my glue stringy. I'm going to use the extra glue around there. Just hold that. Not enough. And I always wrap round twice. 1, 2. No. Could have cut that a little bit shorter, but then I wouldn't have been able to wrap it properly because I know what I'm like. Clear bit of the flame. Tap that down, make sure you can't see the join overlapped here. And there is one cute little pigtail. You see with this end, a little bit more glue across there. Add the bubble, use the extra over there. Hold that down. Okay. Wrap once, twice. Make sure you can't see the ribbon beneath when you're wrapping. You want it completely over the original wrap. Okay. So we will heat seal the end again. And there we go. I try not to overdo the glue so that you can't see it on either one. But there you go. There is a super cute little pigtail set. And then those 2-inch ones, ribbon, they come out roughly 3 inches wide. So like I said, they're perfect on, like I said, little schoolgirls pigtail sets and things like that. That's the size that I normally make for my nieces. So yeah, like I said, it's weird, isn't it? Like I said, it's definitely to do with the depth perception of the dyspraxia one. But yeah, like I said, the templates are a great one for, like I said, making sure your balance is a little bit more on centre. In fact, what I will do is she wants 2 sets, because she also loves tartan and she actually likes matching her little girl on a regular basis. So I'll take my 3-inch template and I will make one on the template as well. When I'm making on templates, I don't tend to measure, I tend to wrap like this. And again, this is a trick Siobhan taught me. I do slightly over the stitch line, so about 1/2 centimetre, same as the little fold over crease that I did. And the same on the other side, about 1/2 centimetre over. Like I said, no measurements at all. And just cut. Just roll my ribbon back up. I also lose these elastic bands everywhere. I normally have like a little shot glass full of them. But again, in my cat-like way, I knocked that off my desk yesterday and it has rolled somewhere in my room and I cannot find it absolutely anywhere. So let's heat seal our edges. And with these, I use my little clip. And like I said, Siobhan's got an album for this and a visual album in her group, CHEVERELLA's. And she has multiple tutorials on how to do it this way. So like I said, she is entirely who I learned these kind of makes from. So like I said, a little bit over the stitch guide. Round. So one of my neighbours, if you can hear any background noise, one of my neighbours has now decided now is the perfect time to start shimmering his hedge. So put those either side there. Take my needle, and that's the back of the bow, so I always go from the front, from the beginning of the stitch guide from above, and I still do 6. Sorry, when I'm working on camera it's hard to find the stitch guide while you guys are watching me. I'm normally better when I'm on my own. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, and the last one from above at the top edge of that one over there. And I also find if I do it this way, I'm less likely to have missed any layers or anything like that. So once I'm happy I've got my stitches in, take my clips off, slide that down, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 on the back. There's your crease there. If you fold that in half, as you can see, your stitches are all nicely centered and all lined up like that. And then you pinch your crease in and wrap your center. 1, 2. I like to do mine at least 3 times. And also, you'll notice if you make the same way as me, all of my bows have like a slight gentle curve to them, which I think is visually more appealing than some of the more squared looks you get to some styles. But like I said, that's just me personally. So there's one. And again, just make sure my centre's nice. There's one on the templates. I forget my head screwed on. I literally put that out of my ribbon out of the way so I couldn't see it for a second and then thought I'd misplaced it. Well, like I said, very, very typical of how my brain works when I am making. Wrap round. But yeah, before I started doing like my creases and everything when I make freehand, this is so quick. You can literally, and the other thing about templates, as you can see, the bow that I'm currently making is a 3-inch bow. So if you wanted a 4-inch bow with 2-inch ribbons, you could use it on the 4-inch template and you'd get a 4-inch bow. So again, that's another thing that templates are great for, because a lot of people are like, what measurements do I use for what? And sometimes it is entirely personal preferences. You might like the look of a 2-inch bow that turns out 3-inch wide, you might personally prefer the 2-inch in the 4-inch sizing. So like I said, you can play around and work out what actually looks nicest for you. So like I said, make sure you got that overlap from above. Also, part of pinch bows is working out which amount of pinches you prefer for each ribbon width as well. Once you've got that down, and you can get in a rhythm of just making like little batches of them. Although I will always say this, don't be me. Don't make batches of them and don't put the centres on straight away, because you will have baskets full of half-finished tux bows that are just sat on your desk or sat somewhere near in your craft area that you don't do anything with. So I never make more than 10 tux bows at a time without adding all the centres on them now. Because at one point I had 4 baskets. I had about 150 3-inch tux bows sat that I needed to put centres on. And it took me 3 days to sit binge watching How I Met Your Mother to have enough motivation to finish them all. Okay, stitch that off in the back. And again, you've got 2 nicely aligned 2-inch tux bows, 2-inch ribbon tux bows. Exactly the same. Again, the other thing about template making, you don't have to worry about your bows not being identical. It takes a lot of that work out of it as well. So, black bubbles. Let's centre these. And then I will make my pink fabric bow that I need to make. What's it doing? I told you some days I would quite literally forget my head if it was not attached to my body. So like I said, add the bubble on the seam. Okay. Cut enough to wrap that round twice. 1, 2, over the original ribbon. Tiny little bit extra off. Heat seal. And wrap that over. So there is that one. And then this one, again, heat seal, touch of glue just over that join, bubble attach from where the seam shows, use that extra little bit of glue, okay, one. I also realised, you know, after watching a few of my videos back, because I have to make sure that I've stayed in focus and you can see all my stitch guides, I realised if you wanted to get really drunk watching one of my videos, with the amount of catch the phrases and the way that I say certain phrases over and over again, you could get very drunk if you took a shot every time I said a certain thing like this is how it looks like, or how it likes this, or just like this, or just so, and things like that. You'd get very drunk watching just one 10-minute video in some cases. There we go. So there's 2 cute ones made on templates, and as you can see, they're slightly smaller than making it 8 inches. So the 8 inches is about 3 and a bit over, on the 3-inch template, they come out at about 2.5. So like I said, that's what I mean, you can play around with your sizing and get like slightly different looks to your bow, because like I said, that one gives it a slightly more. So like I said, that's the fun of the templates as well. Like I said, you get the 2 different looks just by the different widths or sizes that you measurements you use for your bows. So I have this one, and this is a 10-inch, well, about 10.5-inch by 10.5. But I am going to take a little small strip off just for, well, actually I might leave it. I was contemplating doing it for the centre. But what I want to do is we're going to fold this side in from here. I want it about even from both sides. As you can see, I sort of already had my folds over. We want it in 3 pieces, so we've got 3 even sections like this. Mine tend to be, when I do this side, I do about 4 inches wide. So there's that bit, and that's what the front looks like. And then make sure that's all nicely lined up like this. We are going to work out where the centre is. Just going to put a pin there and a pin at the bottom so I can work out where to overlap my fabric in a second. Before I finish, see if anyone's asked me anything, like I said, because I do have to stand up and see. Yeah, no, like I said, thanks for SIOBHAN. Like I said, if you hadn't have taught me, I wouldn't have known how to do half of it in the first place. But like I said, template making is very, very, very relaxing. So like I said, I'll get on with a pinch fabric bow now. Like I said, this is all in the Tux bow family. This is this one. So that's my centre. And I'm just going to fold that again. This is less than a centimetre over, about half a centimetre. And then we're going to fold this one just over again, about half a centimetre. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of fraying there. So what I do is I take this one and I sort of use this, you pocket them inside each other like this. See what I mean about the whole like this comment? And then I'm going to repin where the centre is. So there we go. So if I fold that in half, as you can see, same as we just did that pinch bow. There. Got a little crease in. Put that pin in the pot rather than on my desk before I misplace it. I also lose a lot of pins. I have no idea how. Because this is 4 inches wide, I'm going to do 8 stitches rather than my typical 6. So I'm just going to move that pin out. And again, always from above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, you've got 4 creases there. 1, 2, 3, 4. is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you'll have 4 stitches on the back, and pull those together. And you get a nice centered, well centered fabric pinch bow. And wrap round as normal. 1, 2, 3, good couple of times, and then stitch off. In the back. And again, I just double check that that's nicely centered. And again, if you do it this method, you still, even on fabric bows, you get that nice curve on the bow. Let's see. There we go. And white's right near the top of my shocking 9mm box. I have got a roll of it like my black one somewhere, but I don't know where that is at the minute. I think this actually needs a pink. Not quite the same. There we go. That's what it needs. I think it might need a slightly wider centre on this one. Okay. Not quite that wide, but closer. I'm going to fold this one in half and do, oh, I might do a scrunch. Yeah, the scrunch will work with this one. And I do try, where I can, to match my bubbles. I can't always at the moment because for some reason I haven't got many cream or white. I need to order some more. But I tend to have a lot of black and white bubbles for these kind of things. So on this one, I've looked at it, and when I wrapped the 9mm, it didn't look visually appealing to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the centre, and then I'm going to add a scrunch middle to it to give it a bit more balance. Also, the way I lean on my desk, it makes it creak sometimes. It drives me mad. I have to keep my elbows off the table, my desk, when I'm making, so that you can't hear that noise in my videos. Hear it? Okay. As you can see, that doesn't quite balance it as well as I'd like, so I'm going to use this one. I don't think I need all of that. This is how I get scraps everywhere. There we go. What I'm going to do with the double tuxes that I need to do, I'll only show you one, otherwise people will get bored watching me. I'll do a no-sew version of the double tuxes, so you can see, like I said, which method works best for you guys. Because no, not everyone likes templates, not everyone likes hand stitching. And basically, once you've learned the methods, any of these pinch bow styles, you can translate these onto any of these methods. So that's something you can take into consideration. So like I said, whatever you want to do, you can basically turn any bow into a no-sew bow once you've learnt that method. So wrap this round, bring that over, get the right amount that you want, That's a little bit too much, so I'm going to cut a little bit of that. Reseal slightly. Carefully fingers when you do this. There we go. Glue. Sometimes on these ones, on the fabric bows especially, I might add a stitch just in the back just to keep that in place. So there you go, there is a super cute fabric pinch bow with the scrunched centre. Add that to my little collection. And what do I want now? I wanted the red 1.5 inch ribbon, which is also 38mm, depending on where you're buying from. So, and this red, I also have a colour chart because it's the very last of the school bows that I've got to do for a couple of few of my sister's orders. So when it comes to school bows, always check your school colours, because like I said, if they say blue, it doesn't necessarily mean the blue that you've got in stock. They could be talking about school uniform colours. It tends to be light blue, navy, light blue, navy, royal blue, and there's also PK ink blue. So, and it's the same with the red. You've got pure red, hot red, scarlet red, and ruby. And again, there's also poppy red. This school colour, it's not that one, this is true red, which is 250 on the colour chart. And this colour chart I brought from Love Your Crafts Ltd. It cost me £8, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's got all, this is the basic gross grain colour chart. So like I said, all gross grain colours, these are the true colours. So like I said, it's worth checking, and like I said, it's worth investing in, because like I said, I know that's red, because like I said, if you're not very good or you've got slight colour blindness, this can be the difference between getting the right colours for your customers' bows sometimes. So this is actually the red, and I've also made sure that I've actually got my right matching 9mm to that one, because again, I've got like 10 different colours of the red tones, and the same with the blues. I have to double check that this is actually navy, because like I said, sometimes I accidentally pick up like the peacock or the ink blue and get them confused, and again, you don't want customers to be disappointed that you've sent them the slightly wrong colour. So like I said, I always have this just so I can double check. And it also helps me with my colour combinations as well sometimes, because again, something my sister tells me on a regular basis, I am not great at combining colours unless I ask her, or even sometimes Siobhan, what they think before I start making. So on my tux bows in 1 inch and 1.5 inch ribbon, I tend to do about 7.5 inches. But again, it's personal preferences. And again, I've got to make 2 sets for pigtails. So there's those ones. Just get them cut, move all my little bits and pieces out the way. See if any of you... Yeah, I know there's only 2 of you watching, but like I said, I just like talking sometimes. So I'll try and show you how to do no-sew double tuxes and try and make them look less bulky for you, so you can see. So heat seal all my edges. This is the only time I miss my wood burner. when you have the wood burning tool, it does make the heat sealing process just a little bit quicker. But like I said, I've got the energy now. I might, next week, if there's no more restrictions, I might pop down to the Hobbycraft on the retail park up the road from me and return the wood burning tools and see if I can get a replacement and all of those. So I'm going to fold all of these in half. One. 2. 3. 4. I do think what I'll do, so there's more people watching from now on, is I will decide what day. I'll ask in the group what day you all think is best for me to do these kind of lives, and I'll choose a topic each week and just basically chat to you all, if you all don't mind. Like I said, just do the little less than ½ centimetre. And again, I've been doing these for so long now, I just sort of automatically know, like just visually. That I'm doing roughly the same value on all my pieces, if that makes sense. So like I said, the more you practice, the more it sort of becomes like memory. Like muscle memory. It's just something you instinctively start doing the more often you do it. There we go. Make you laugh. I had to start the live, I had to do a video, like a little snapshot, like they give you 3 seconds to get in place. And I tried to show you off my face again today, because I actually made an effort. I've actually even dried my hair and straightened it a little bit. And I look drunk. I tried to smile for the camera like it told me to. And I went buzz-eyed on one, and another one had my eyes closed. So there we go. So I've got all the little creases at the edges. I want a touch of glue just here. Not much. You want to do a teeny thinnest layer that you can manage with your glue. Bring that in that side, and again I use my fingers and I just push it down so that the glue thins. And as you can see with us using that little guide, we've still got that crease so we can see there. So again, only a teeny bit. Thinnest layer you can manage. Bring that back over that. And again, I use my fingers just to spread that. And if you fold, again, your edges are still nice and even. And I'm going to repeat that on all 4 pieces before I add my creases in. Super thin. Squish. Thin. Squish. Again, check your edges are lined up. If you take these together, you fold them both in half like this. Once you get into the hang of like getting your creases right, you'll see that they're all lined up and you won't have like one that's slightly bigger than the other, and things like that. Because again, that's where that'll throw the balance of your bows if you're not making them both identically and using the same amount of these on each side. That's where it can sort of throw out. Okay. Fold just so your crease is still nice, but you've got your glue thinned down. Like I said, I'll finish these ones off and then I'll say bye to everyone. And squish it down. And let it crease. Okay. Crease it again. And as you can see, those two are the same size. Those two are the same size. If you flatten both of them against those, they're all even, so both pigtail sets will be both the same. And then on these, I tend to do 3 pinches. So if you want to do 3, start with your bow so that the crease is at the back. You want to fold directly in half, pinch with your thumb. Actually, I might do 2 in these ones. Fold back and fold down. This is what the back of the bow will look like. And this is front, and this is with 2 creases, because like I said, we only need 2. If we tried 3, it'll add too much bulk and it won't look very nice. And again, search where your original crease marks is, and that's where you want to put the glue. Try and do it a little bit deeper, not near the front, and don't overload the centre. Like I said, just enough to keep it glued without going overboard. And the same on the front. Let it open a little bit. You want to go quite deep, but you only want a touch of glue, like a little tiny drop. You don't want so much so that it's going to creep either side into those dips and not be covered by your 9mm. I'm just going to use this clip to hold that in place while we do the other 3. So with that facing down, line that up so it's even, pinch that with your finger, bring it back against your thumb, down against your thumb, bring those up so they're all nice, and like I said, little bit of glue in those 2. 1, 2, pinch, turn it over where the crease line is, only on the crease, only a tiny dot. Any extra, like I said, if you're anything like me, you don't feel the glue anymore. Clip that one, and again from above, fold it upwards so that those edges line up, back against your thumb, down against your thumb, turn those up, drop of glue, drop of glue, pinch together, turn it over, touch of glue there. Now this one I have slightly overglued the centre. You can see the ridge. You see the ridge on that one? That's where you put a little bit too much glue. So like I said, if you ever have that happen, next time you do it, use slightly less and it will, like I said, have a neat look. Again, this one, it's got slightly too much glue. What I'm going to do, take the lighter, heat it a little bit, and that will sort of loosen it up a little bit. So fold upwards, edge, against your thumbnail, down, and 2 more drops of glue. Pinch, watch your fingers, turn it over, open that up. I will say this, gluing does take me slightly longer than hand stitching, just because I have to be more careful about the balance and keeping things nicely lined up. So once you're sure that they will hold, again, use that original guide there. Glue across there. Take your other one. Make sure that they're both nicely balanced like this. And clip. Just hold that while you do this next one. Same thing again. Take clips off. Take that over glue off. Touch your glue on there. This one over the top so your centres are all nicely aligned. And put your clip on there. Need to find 2 black bubbles for these ones. There we go. Haven't got red, so we'll use black. So we want some 9mm to wrap these. Or if you wanted to, you could do black. Like I said, it's entirely up to you. Depends on what your customers prefer, really. Take your clip off once you're sure it's all nice and secure. If you're anything like me, take off any stray glue strings as well. And then you just want a touch of glue back there. Bobble on. Again, where the seam is. Use that little bit of extra on your ribbon. Cut enough so you can wrap round twice. 1, 2, and as you can see, you get a much more squared look when you do this to the centre. That side. Touch of glue. Like I said, I just sort of make sure I've centred, and if you haven't gone overboard on your glue, you won't see any glue mess here on either bits of your. There we go, that's better. So you've got your nice dips each side. I'll do this one. Take your clip off. And it's also perfect timing to finish my life because my housemate's just come home. Touch your glue there. Add the bubble.